maraming mga nagtatanong din sa akin dito, tuloy pa ba impeachment trial? So sa basa po ninyo, ano po ba?
Well, syempre, for us, the prosecution panel, we would want na matuloy ito. But dyan sa mga pinapakita sa Senado, kasama na dyan the Senate President himself, yung mga nagiging developments, including the latest development na nagsasabi o sinabi niya that the Senate can, as an impeachment court, can resolve or can rule on the motion to dismiss. Then that really gives us a room for concern and apprehension. Just like what they did noon when sinubukan yung de facto dismissal as introduced by Senator Bato de la Rosa, and then they medyo nag-backtrack sila, ano na lang, meron sila yung tinatawag kong semi-Solomonic solution, the one proposed by Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, na i-remand na lang muna yung AOI or the Articles of Impeachment, which is clearly not sanctioned by the rules. And then ngayon, ito, since pinaka-prayer ni VP Sara sa kanyang verified answer ad cautelam na pinapadismiss niya yung impeachment complaint, hindi ang tawag niya sa impeachment complaint ay void ab initio daw, and then they're also questioning the very jurisdiction of the impeachment court. Ano yung naging tugon? Ano yung naging latest response ni Senate President Chis Escudero? Yes, the Senate, by a majority vote, a simple majority, can actually rule on the dismissal. We beg to disagree. Now, of course, ito matuturing ng iba as probably an open legal question. At parang ang nagiging argument din is SPGs is that what is not prohibited in the Constitution is actually allowed. So parang sinasabi niya, dahil wala naman nakasabi sa Constitution na na bawal ang dismissal, bawal ang mag-file ng motion to dismiss, ay pwede daw yun because they have limitless powers, according to him, the plenary limitless powers of the impeachment court. I beg to disagree. And I think this is shared, of course, by the prosecution panel. But again, I have to clarify, Christian, I'm not really speaking on behalf of the prosecution panel. Meron naman designated spokesperson. But I'm just speaking as a citizen, as a public figure, as a lawyer, I'm just airing and sharing my own opinion on the matter.
Okay. Pero yun nga, hindi ko kasi masyado maunawaan kung bakit ganun committed yung pagtingin na iba rito na talagang pwede siyang i-dismiss ng Senado, no? Nasa kapangyarihan po ba yun ng Senado, given the fact that the Constitution says, ang kapangyarihan ng Senado, try and decide impeachment cases. Dun sa wording din, try and decide, kasama po ba doon yung sinasabing kapangyarihan para i-dismiss yung kaso?
Para sa akin, wala, hindi po dapat kasama yon. Try and decide. Kasi nga, ang yung trabaho ng House of Representatives, yun na nga, initiate yung impeachment process by transmitting the articles of impeachment nung binutohan na signed by more than 1/3 of the House, which is clearly sanctioned by the Constitution. No, yun ang pinakatrabaho ng House of Representatives. Nung nandun na sa Senado, ang pinakatrabaho naman ng Senado ay umpisahan na lahat na proseso hanggang sa sa trial proper mismo and hanggang sa judgment or verdict. Walang puwang dyan, i-remand muna yung AOI. To me, that was ultra vires. Wala yun sa kapangyarihan ng Senado. Kaya para sa akin, non-issue, di ba? Isa sa mga grounds, if you actually were able to read the verified answer ad cautelam, isa sa mga grounds is that void ab initio, hindi ito, wala ito, kasi nga, wala pa naman yung articles of impeachment. So ano ba yung sasagutin namin? Dahil nga binalik sa House of Representatives ng Senado. Now, syempre, ang Senado is now in a bind. Yung Senate cannot accept that argument na dahil rinemand nyo, wala ng articles of impeachment. Kasi sila yung may kagagawan nun na rinemand nila yung articles of impeachment. So para sa akin, the better argument, the best position is that mali pala yung pag-remand namin. Nandito pa sa amin yung articles of impeachment. As a matter of fact, sinama namin yan doon sa summons as issued to VP Sara. So, wala yan yung mga especially motions that would result really in non-trial kung if it is favorably acted upon. At saka yung mga nakikita natin ng mga developments, yung mga moves na yan, yung latest na yan, na may ganyang statement that we will rule on the motion to dismiss, I think ang pinaka-strategy talaga ng depensa is towards avoiding trial. They will do that at all costs. Gagamitin nila all tricks in the law books, in the trial practice books. Gagamitin nila yan para maiwasan yung trial. Diyan sila takot. Aminin man nila o hindi, I believe na yan ang kinakatakutan nila na lumabas ang ebidensya. And it is only through the trial proper na makikita ang ebidensya. Kaya mali rin yung sinasabi sa verified answer ad cautelam na there's no evidence to speak of. Wala daw ultimate facts. In other words, nagiging masyado silang technical. How can they say that na walang ultimate facts na sinagot nga nila eh? May mga denials nga sila. Like for example, yung tungkol sa threat to assassinate, the plot and the threat to assassinate the president, the speaker, and the first lady. There were several paragraphs, more than 10 paragraphs or maybe 18 paragraphs na dinideny nila yon. Wala daw threat. She never intended to really scare those concerned. Ganon din dun sa usapin ng confidential funds, another very significant and strong article of impeachment. The abuse and the misuse of confidential funds. More than 30 plus paragraphs nandun sa verified answer ad cautelam na sinasabi nila wala daw ebidensya. Pero how can they say walang ultimate facts na sinagot nga nila eh? And then sasabihin nila walang ebidensya. Kaya nga magta-trial eh. Yung trial proper, yun ang pinaka-stage kung saan ilalabas ang ebidensya ng prosecution. Hindi required sa complaint, any complaint, kahit hindi nga impeachment complaint, na ipalabas mo na kaagad ang ebidensya. Okay.
Okay. Ito lang, baka lang makakalimutan ko, pero gusto ko muna pag-usapan din yung boto na pwedeng mangyari dun sa motion to dismiss. No? Nabanggit niyo po yung threat ng Vice President against the President. Maliwanag naman niya, no? Million po yung nakapanood niya. Talagang sinabi niya, kumontak siya ng papatay at pumayag. Kung sakali raw may mangyari sa kanya, papatay niya yung Presidente, First Lady, at saka yung Speaker of the House. At tanong ko po, no, kunwari talaga nagkaroon ng trial na at pinag-usapan na po yung first article of impeachment, kukuha ba kayo ng mga psychiatrists, yung mga eksperto pagdating sa mental health, para alamin kung meron bang ganung problema yung Vice Presidente? Kasi iba tinatanong sa akin ito, no? Meron bang problema sa pag-iisip yung Vice President para gawin? Would that be done, for instance, when this particular article is tackled sa impeachment trial?
Hindi ko po masasabi yan. As I said, hindi pa naman talaga ako nagpa-participate in any of the discussions or meetings of the prosecution panel. Although napadala naman po sa akin na yung records which I started to review. Now, tungkol nga dun sa, tama yung sinasabi mo kanina, Christian, actually, this is indisputable. Kasi nga, milyon-milyon ang nakakita. Res ipsa loquitur. Ano pa bang tawag mo doon? Kundi threat ng nananakot. Ano pa bang tawag mo doon? Kundi may diferensya. May psychological. You don't do that. Especially, you are the second highest official of the land. I don't think may ibang bansa na may ganyang opisyal na vice president, very high official, na mag-threaten, lalo na threat against the president himself. Ano po ba tawag doon? Nasa may tamang pag-iisip ba ho ang ganon? At saka kung ano-ano pa yung mga sinabi niya, yung mga paulit-ulit na mga PI niya. Is that proper? Is that sanity? So, whether or not magpipresent ng psychologist or psychiatrist, hindi ko pa po alam kung because I also do not know kung sino ang naka-assign na prosecutor and private prosecutor na mag-handle that particular article, which happens to be article number 1.
And I think people should also be reminded, kung gusto mo, kung ano ba talaga yung dapat na mga tanongin at sagutin. Na very, very basic dito sa impeachment ka issue, diba? Fit ba itong public official na ito para manatili sa kanyang posisyon? At pangalawa, dapat pa ba siyang payagang humawak ng public office in the future? Di po ba? Kasi parang nakakalimutan because of all discussion sa technicality.
Yes, that's the very core questions that need to be answered, that need to be seen, that need to be appreciated, especially by the public. Kaya nga, accountability. Ang impeachment is all about accountability. At yung pinaka magandang ground in terms of any impeachment case is betrayal of public trust. Yes, yung mga culpable violation of the Constitution, high crimes, graft and corruption. Yes, those are grounds, but actually, yung ground na betrayal of public trust attaches to all other grounds for impeachment. Kasi kung nag-aasta ka ng ganyan, kung may nag-threaten ka, kung hindi tama yung ginagamit, ang pagkagamit mo ng confidential funds, and then worse is kung ano pa yan, ay nabubulsa, napupunta sa bulsa na may misappropriate. And then yung pagkakaroon ng bank accounts na very significant amounts na hindi na-reflect doon sa SALN. Questionable yung very dubious yung sources of those funds, of those money sa mga bank accounts niya. And then yung tungkol din niya sa extrajudicial killings nung mayor siya, nung mga sinasabi noon ni Arturo Las Cañas in its totality. Kaya nga yung Article 7 is of the 7th article of the article of impeachment. Yun ang Article 7, the 7th and last article of impeachment. Sa kabuuan ng kanyang mga misbehavior, misconduct, and also a violation of the trust of her oath as vice president. These are all acts of betrayal of public trust. So pag mabetray mo na, pag ang isang opisyal ay mag-betray ng public trust, hindi ka na karapat-dapat na manatili sa posisyon na yan.